Shalom. Welcome back. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, praises, and honors to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahawashi. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to you, Akim, pushing his word in sincerity and in truth. Back with another lesson. Today's lesson is just going to be about when you get tired, just think about Yahawashi. When you get tired, think about Yahawashi. Because in the spirit, sometimes we get tired, we get down, you feel depressed, you feel defeated, you feel low sometimes. But in those times and in those moments, think about Yahawashi, man. All right. And I say that because of the great sacrifice and suffering that he occurred, right? He took for our for our salvation. All right. Understand that. Meaning times and things happened that he didn't want to do. But guess what? He did it anyway because it was the Father's will. He did it anyway because he knows the bigger picture. And that's the same mindset we have to arm ourselves with when we go through tribulation, when we go through depressions, when we go through being tired. We got to arm our mind as the mind of Yahawashi. Now, the first scripture I'm going to go into is in the book of Mark. I'm going to start at Mark chapter 14, verse 33. It says, "And he taketh with him Peter and James and John, and began to be sore amazed and to be very heavy, and saith unto them, My soul is exceeding sorrowful unto death. Tarry ye here and watch. And he went forward a little and fell on the ground and prayed that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. And he said, Abba, Father, all things are possible unto thee. Take away this cup from me. Nevertheless, not what I will, but what thou wilt." So at that moment, Yahawashi didn't want to go through what he knew was coming. You know, the crucifixion, the suffering, the death of the cross. But he understood that it was Yahweh's will. So he did it anyway. At his so-called darkest hour. And we go through things and we're down and we, man, just don't feel like it. But sometimes we push back, we push through that. We think about Yahawashi, what he went through, first and foremost for the elect and then the nation. We have to keep our mind in that same type of vibration, man. You know, do it anyway. Because, hey, what would Yahawashi do? You know, Christians got that, got that saying, what would Jeebus do? But really arm yourself with the same mind. What would Yahawashi do? Okay. From there, I want to go into the book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 4. It says, "Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others." You see that? Always realize that you were called, and you were called for a purpose. You weren't called to big yourself up. You weren't called to be the man. You weren't called to to get put in a position where everybody can praise you and look up to you and call you a name of rank and status. No, you were called here to do a job, man. You were called here to do a job, just like Yahawashi did, right? It says Philippians chapter 2, verse 4, "Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Let this mind be in you, which also was in Yahawashi, who being in the form of the Most High, thought it not robbery to be equal with the Most High, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of man." Right? Verse 8, and being found in the fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. And we just read in the previous scripture how he asked the Lord, the Father Yahweh, to take that off his plate. But guess what? He didn't take it off his plate. He still had to go through it. Just like in our cases, man. You brothers that went through the gauntlet, man. Trouble with their baby mother, right? Trouble with the law. Woman putting cases on brothers. Brothers losing homes, losing houses, financial troubles, right? Body ailments, all kind of things that sometimes we ask, through the spirit of Yahawashi to take away from us. Sometimes he does, and sometimes he doesn't. But guess what? Even when he doesn't, we still have to press forward, man. We still have to do our jobs, regardless of what position the Lord puts you in. Keep that in mind, man. He became a servant. He became obedient, even unto death. From there, I want to go into, let's see, 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 7. It says that the trial of your faith being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto the praise and honor and glory of the appearing of Yahawashi Mashiach. So even with all the stuff we go through, understand it's for a reason, okay? The present, what's the scripture? I'm just quoting the present moment and the present suffering doesn't feel basically good at the time, but this is working a bigger purpose, right? If you keep that mind frame and keep that understanding, the stuff you go through is working a bigger purpose, man. All the hell you catching, right? All the tribulations, all of it, man. All situations, because brothers get different situations and they get tested in their own situations. But ultimately, through the spirit of Yahawashi Mawashai, he's going to have you overcome that, right? If you're part of that righteous elect, and you're going to be the first fruits of the kingdom, So, hey, keep in mind that, hey, when you get tired, when you get low, hey, think about Yahawashi. Think about the sacrifice, Think about him making the steps and doing the things required, even when he didn't want to. Straight out, didn't want to. Ask the Father, take this cup away. But if not, hey, thy will be done. As the scriptures say, who has resisted his will? Even the Son, right? Nobody. From there, let's keep going. Let's get the book. Bear with me. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 12. Now, if Yahawashi be preached that he rose from the dead, how say some among you that there is no resurrection of the dead? But if there be no resurrection of the dead, then is Yahawashi not risen? And if Yahawashi be not risen, then is our preaching vain, and your faith is also vain. And I brought that out because the first scripture I kicked this lesson off with about him not wanting to face that cup and wanting to face that death of the cross, meaning we have this faith, we have this ministry, all because Yahawashi did it, man. He's that perfect example of not wanting to go through it, but he did it anyway, right? So henceforth, for him to raise from the dead, he had to bend that knee, humble himself, and take it. Take that, take what happened to him on the cross, man. The persecution of the cross, the death of the cross. He had to take that, right? For him to rise again and for us to have our faith, our current faith in this current time. So like I said, I always think back about Yahawashi when you're tired, when you don't want to do something, when things get heavy, when you're depressed, and understand that the Lord is going to make a way for you to get through it. All right? Just keep things in their proper perspective. From there, I think that may be it. One more. This is Philippians chapter 3, verse 10. I started at 10. Philippians 3 and 10. That I may know him in the power of his resurrection, in the fellowship of his sufferings. Right? He went through it. He suffered. How much more his servants? Being made comfortable unto his death. Being made conformable unto his death, if by any means I may attain unto the resurrection of the dead. Not as though I had already attained, either were already perfect, but I follow after, if that I may apprehend that for which also I am apprehended of the anointed Yahawashi. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, right? But this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto things which are before. So I keep going, is basically what he's getting at. You know, I keep moving. You see, I don't. As another scripture, we don't count ourselves as that number. That's why we always say hopeful elect. We say that, man. Hey, we mean that, because this is nothing to walk to in pride, because this is a lowly position right now. But ultimately, understanding that we have Yahawashi, Yahawashi, hey, we've already won in the same breath. Verse 14, I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Yahweh in Yahawashi, Mashiach. So that's the point, man. Okay, that's the point. That we have to keep going. We have to keep pushing. We have to arm ourselves with the same mind as Yahawashi. He is that example. So when you're down and you feel like you out, hey, you ain't out yet, man. Hey, focus on Yahawashi and the sacrifice and the example he put forth within these scriptures, and the persecution and death he faced. And the stuff we going through, yes, it sucks. It's fucked up sometimes, you know, but it doesn't light a candle to what he knew he had to face, and he faced it anyway. So if he can do that, guess what? We can do it. But with that, I want to give all glory, praises, and honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, and shalom the next time.